What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today's reaction video is 5 summer objects I only encountered after moving to America, and I being Lawrence Lost in the Pond. His links will be in the description. Now we know it is winter at the moment, isn't it? It is absolutely Baltic in England at the moment. Not as cold as some places over there though, 100%. But you guys loved the winter objects we did.
Yeah.
So this is the summer one. So let's get straight into it.
Interesting.
Doesn't need any more explaining, does it? Some objects that are in America, not in the UK, or potentially in the UK, just not used by Lawrence.
Yeah, maybe just not used as much.
Yeah, and we'll clear up if we ever used it, won't we? So let's get straight into it. Smash the like button, smash the subscribe button as well, you absolute legends, and let's see what we got.
Ice cubes are a lifesaver when you run out at parties, and they're made by wizards.
I feel like he's referring to Harry Potter.
Hello, I'm Lawrence, and I'm on a quest to uncover all of the memos that Britain and America lost in the pond, and one of those memos pertains to things, objects, stuff, particularly summer stuff. 42 years ago, in the winter of 2020, I did a video about 5 winter objects that I only encountered after moving to America. And this video serves as its summer counterpart. And as was the case with that video, I'll not be including food items. That's its own video, right? Just wanted to make that clear for people like Uncle Toby. Basically, man-made objects that are associated with the summer. And as we go through this list, keep in mind that some of these things might have a presence in Britain. It's just that either A, I was sheltered, or B, they're shown more prominently in America. And so, without further ado, let's take a look at 5 summer objects that I only encountered after moving to America.
Yeah, it's overhead fans. Definitely seeing.
Yeah, that's definitely American to me.
Yeah, I think you've seen on like TV programs, like kids programs, where they lift the kid up or something and someone gets hit by it.
Yeah, or they're just there. You can just see them.
Yeah, well,
I don't think we have fans. We don't typically have overhead fans.
Yeah,
Majority of us don't.
I've never seen one.
No,
over
we
here.
do have like floor fans.
Yeah, I think you can buy them from a shop. Everyone has them.
But overhead ones, I don't think many houses.
I've never seen one with over here.
I think it's fair to say that I have a love-hate relationship with ceiling fans. Now, when I say overhead fans, I'm not referring to Lost in the Pond supporters who sit in the rafters at the live events that I don't have. I'm referring to fans on the ceiling. In British homes, they're exceedingly rare, whereas in America, I've yet to enter a house that doesn't have one. And that includes my mansion that has about 3. It's not a mansion. First of all, when you're a YouTube sensation, the last thing you need in your studio is an overhead fan, because it messes up your hair and your voice. I realise that this is a niche problem and that certain people need to check themselves before they wreck themselves. But the other first world problem that they produce is I never know how many times to pull the string.
I can't think of an example, but there's definitely some things over here.
Yeah, I feel like I know that you get extractor fans like in the bathroom sometimes, and I had one at my house when I lived at my parents' house, and you used to like to pull it like 5 times. And then,
and you just
like, one
never
time
got it right.
It's like stops a little bit, and then as you like go to pull it, it like starts to come on. You're like, just turned it off.
I can't believe I've done that.
Apparently on most units it's 3, and this is the sort of thing they should tell you at customs when you first arrive. Are you travelling with family? Are you here on business? Oh, and by the way, pull it 3 times and not 4, you numpty. But I said it's a love-hate relationship, whereas Lost in the Pond fans cheer me up. Overhead fans cool me down. And this is particularly useful when your studio doesn't have one of these. I'll admit it, when I first...
Again, I think we've covered this already before, haven't we? No aircon pretty much over here. Only in offices, as far as I know.
My work does have one.
Yeah, offices and work have it, and that's about it.
Not... do restaurants have it?
Yeah, restaurants have it, like workplaces.
It's just not in homes.
Yeah, I've never seen it at home, babe.
No.
You guys pretty much have it in every home.
Yeah.
Heard about America's propensity for using air conditioning. I thought it was weird. Why would you want that blowing through your home when you can just crack open a window and hear the sounds of nature? And I thought it was particularly unusual that anybody would want to partially obscure their window with this big box. We're British, we want to see outside, we want to see what that chaff-inch is up to, we want to see if it's a light drizzle or a heavy downpour, we want to see the joggers. So I thought it was as weird as the next person, and then I met the next person. His name was Mick from Stockport. And Mick from Stockport had never actually left Stockport, but he had all kinds of views about the rest of the world, including America. And he absolutely lamented the artificial nature of American air conditioning. 2 weeks later, He died of heat stroke. Nick is, like any other British person that I talk about on this channel, entirely fictional. But he was as stubborn as I was when it came to air conditioning. We just don't have it in UK homes. But after moving to America, I saw the error of my ways. If you saw my recent video on how British heat waves ain't got nothing on America, you might have a clue as to why the absence of them would constitute a public health hazard. In many parts of the US, it's extremely common for the summer temperature to rise above 90 degrees Fahrenheit. The simple truth is, in July, an American home wouldn't be fit for humans, were it not for the installation of AC. Also, it does help that my cat has an aircon obsession.
Wow. Glamping mattresses? Have you ever been camping?
I have, and I did take a blow-up mattress.
Oh no! I mean, that's
and
not
my
too
duvet,
bad.
and it was on like a scout trip.
Oh, okay.
And I got there, and it was me and my friend, and we bought our duvets and everything, and they looked at us like, "You're not bringing those." And I was like, "Well, I am." So
did you get to take it?
Yeah, because my mum said. I was like, "Mum."
Yeah, I mean, I've been camping in my lakes quite a few times, just sleeping bag on the floor.
Camping.
It's to be fair, it's quite nice. If you do it right, it is quite nice, and you can enjoy it. No, not for you.
Not for me.
We'll stick to hotels when we come to America.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, in the UK, inflatable mattresses are as popular as inflatable people, and you sometimes use them both at the same time. But in my experience, British people draw the line at using them while camping. That's the blow-up mattresses, not so much the other one. In America, they have a term for this. It's called
That's exactly
glamping.
what it looked like.
Glamping is an example of a poor man's toe, or as it says in my dictionary, a portmanteau.
Glamping's definitely come over here, though, hasn't it?
Yeah,
You
definitely.
can glamp over here.
You can
There's certain
rent out,
sites which have glamping stuff,
tents
isn't
with
there?
stuff, beds in. Yeah.
Just means glamorous camping, and I was introduced to this concept by none other than old-fashioned AF, my wife.
So make sure you sign up as soon as you're finished watching this video.
In the height of summer, we went camping in southern Indiana, and I prepared myself for days on end for the enormous back pain I would feel afterward. See, this is what British campers do. We gear ourselves for a night or two of blissful torture. And this was the illusion I'd afforded myself on this visit to southern Indiana, right down to the moment that I put the last peg in the ground. And then my wife surprised me by pulling from the van an inflatable mattress and 2 pillows and a headboard and a dressing table. And it filled me with dread because I'd just signed a lease elsewhere. But also because it made me panic that my wife wasn't who I thought she was. But it turns out that this is quite normal in America. People here don't go camping to recreate the living conditions of Neanderthals. They do it to sit around campfires and eat s'mores and play songs. So what
I do want to do that one day, around a campfire with a s'more. I've never done that. We don't really do that in our camping over here. It seems pretty cool.
You learn from the 1999 American documentary The Blair Witch Project, forget it, that's old news. Now maybe I'm becoming Americanized. Over time I've become comfortable with America's obsession with being comfortable. That's probably why when it comes to my new house, I want to add one of these.
Porch swings? Is that a swing chair?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah?
I think sometimes they have like a little cover over the top.
But the dangly down things aren't there. And again, I feel like the difference is we potentially have them, not often. Like, I don't know a single house that actually has them, but I know of people having them.
Like you can buy them at a garden centre.
You could definitely buy them, but I've never seen one on a porch because British people don't really have porches.
No.
Like, the only kind of porch we have is an internal porch at the front, isn't it?
Yeah.
We don't really have an external porch in British homes.
No, I don't think I've ever seen one.
It's very American, that. I kind of think very southern. You do have a porch, someone sat out the front.
Reminds me of the movies.
Yes, yeah, you see someone sat out the front.
Yeah.
Like, I'm trying to think that maybe I can't think of a film, but you know what I mean.
Like, yeah, but I feel like every American movie I've watched has had a front porch swing.
A front porch swing, yeah, no, definitely. And I feel like we potentially have them, but just private in our own garden and stuff like that. So not in the front yard, but we do know about these swings.
I'm going to go out on a limb here with no data to back up what I'm about to say. Per household, America has way more front porches than Britain. I've been to various parts of the United States, and having done so, one thing stands out as a constant among its streets. Friends and families getting hammered on the front porch. In Britain, we must like our privacy because if we have porches, they tend to be in the back garden/yard. Either way, there's one element of porches that I didn't encounter until moving to America. Swing benches. Again, that's not to say we don't have them in Britain. They're just more prevalent in America. And again, I don't have data to back that up. It's an observation. I've now lived in the US for about a third of my life. And in that time, you do get a good sense for America's furniture choices. And if it turns out that my observation is numerically incorrect, the wife and I will be more than happy to tip the scales back in America's favour. That was just an excuse to show you my empty front porch. I should have played it cool, much like this.
Bagged ice. We definitely have bagged ice, don't we?
We do. I feel like people don't typically buy it, do they? I feel like if you're having a party, you'll buy a load of it.
Yeah, the only time you really buy it is when you're having a party and you put all the ice in a bucket, and then you put your beers in that bucket as well, just to keep it cool. Other than that, I mean, personally, and a lot of people I know don't really ice for drinks.
No, I'd love to, but it's
a lot of effort, isn't it? Even walking to the freezer to get ice, just drink the drink as it is, I guess.
It's just going to make it more watery. It's just
I mean, it is ice does definitely make it nicer.
I do, like, if I go out to a restaurant, I'll always ask for iced drinks.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, I don't at home. I don't have time
it's just
for
too much effort.
If you take a knife and try to cut an ice cube in half, you might have A, a mess, and B, a perfect metaphor for the final entry on our list. In other words, this is 2 entries in 1. It can shatter everything Americans hold dear when they discover that British people on the whole don't put ice cubes in their water. And perhaps this creates an illusion that British people eschew ice cubes altogether, but that couldn't be further from the truth. We do sometimes put them in water, but also Pims. Mostly that. And growing up,
I think it is mostly like I'd love like a vodka and Coke with ice.
But even if we did, I feel like it's just summed us up completely. We don't use it often, but we love it. But even if you made a vodka and gin now,
I would
vodka
not
and
put
Coke,
it in.
You wouldn't put it in. It was
At
only
the restaurant or the bar, I'd ask for ice.
Exactly, but you would with your water as well.
I'd always ask for ice, but I'd never do it myself.
Exactly, I think it is a case in Britain, but when you go out, you always expect ice, but a lot of the time you don't really put ice in your drinks at home. I think that's what it is.
In Britain, in my family, we had one of those ice trays that you
fill
with water
sometimes
and put in the freezer. In fact, this is something that Americans, the British, and people the world over have in common. But I was 26 years old when I discovered that you could buy pre-made ice cubes in a bag. These ice cubes are a lifesaver when you run out at parties, and they're made by wizards. And it just happens that my discovery of them came about in America. This is an example of me living a sheltered life. Because it turns out you can absolutely get them in Britain. They're just not displayed as prominently. I'm mostly talking about gas stations. One thing you'll notice when you drive into BP, ironically British Petroleum, is that outside of them they feature subtly decorated ice cube vendors.
Wow.
So if you're hosting a party that night and you're running a bit behind, don't go to Walmart, go to BP. You can get everything you need. That's it for this episode. I'm going to go through...
Well, that is the end of it. So, I mean, there weren't too many weird ones. You had the AC.
I feel like we knew them all.
We just don't have them.
Just don't have them.
Yeah, we've seen them on moves and stuff like that.
I think the bagged ice is probably the only one that we would use more out of all of them.
Because we have a quite common bagged ice, don't we, for parties and stuff like that. So if you guys have enjoyed this video, smash that like button, smash that subscribe button as well. Let us know what other launch or just general videos you want us to react to in the comments below. We hope you're having a fantastic Christmas and stuff like that, because we're pre-recording these, aren't we? So we don't know what days is going out, but we hope you're having a fantastic time. We'll see you legends in the next one. Peace.